of the Ohio Republican Party for the whole state, similar to the county party handling the business for the Lorain County. As they have said, they're in Senate District 13. That is the state Senate district. The lines for the Ohio Republican Party, this position, State Central Committee, mirror those. So the lay of the land is all of Huron County and all of Lorain County will vote in this position. And only people who choose to vote in the primary will vote for this race. So this won't even show up on the general election ballot. So people who don't vote in the primary, they don't realize how much they aren't participating in selecting their leadership. In fact, I feel very strongly about voting in primaries. It's the most important election because after that, for the general, districts are generally gerrymandered in such a way that they're predominantly Democrat or predominantly Republican. So the individual kind of gets their positions or individual name is not so important, but the party becomes more influential for the general election. So if you know people or yourself who don't typically vote in the primaries, I would encourage you to encourage others to vote in the primary. In terms of conducting myself on the committee, I have been around and been reading and watched a lot of the activities related to the former chairman, Matt Borges, they mentioned, and I would fully support Jane Timken or someone of her like if there's another person that would be presented at the organizational meeting. After the primary election, within a short period of time, the committee would come together and meet, all 66 members, the 33 men, 33 women, and they would elect the next chairman. So they may, re-elect Jane Timken. Who knows if someone else, well, we do know someone else will be presented, but we're interested in having someone who allows the voice of the members of the committee to be heard, rather than having a chairman who dictates what should happen and they're just rubber stampers. So that's a very important thing to me. I would see my role as representing the Republicans in Lorain and Huron County, not representing the people in the governor's mansion or other individuals in various statewide offices who want to have the Ohio Republican Party at their disposal. My understanding is that K6 run in 2016 for the presidential election. He spent all that time in New Hampshire, and the resources all, for the state party get dried up, and you have somebody like that just kind of taken off with the money. So it's important that the committee, show some backbone and not allow the candidates to come in and take over. It's an interesting dynamic because the candidates become, they're stars, and a lot of people look to them just like a rock star or something like that, and you get fooled into thinking, well, who am I here to represent? You have to be strong in that area. Just a little background. I, like I say, have been involved in the Republican Party since 2012. On the county level, I'm the secretary of the Lorain County Republican Party. The Lorain County Party, this is the central committee. There's a couple different levels of committees. And actually, before 2012, I didn't even know any of this existed. And that's purposeful that we don't know that this exists, because think about it. If you only have 5 people at the table instead of 10, those 5 have more power. So they don't really want the average Joe to know about the central committees, or because that's those committees get together and they do endorsements. Endorsements are important. Those endorsements are what get candidates to win. So I don't know what the percentage is, but a high percentage of the candidates who get endorsed by the county party for the county races or the state party for the state races are the candidates that win. So that endorsement is highly sought after. Other things outside of politics, I'm totally into it, but just recently, my husband and I'd like to recognize Andy. He's in the audience. This is a rare occasion. I've been coming up to this room for 8 years. We've been having meetings here for a good long time, or in neighboring places around the county. And Andy rarely has been able to come because he's usually back at our market cutting vegetables and preparing for the day. And so we ran our family market for 24 years. We just closed it in the beginning of February. We're on to a new chapter, so I'm very appreciative for his support over all this time. We have 2 children. One is in the computer engineering program through the University of Toledo, and the other is in finishing halfway through medical school at Ohio State. So when I come to Columbus, I have a second reason I can go there to be with family. With that, I'll take questions. Any questions? Yes?
Where did the idea of it's got to be 33 men and 33 women come from? I mean, well, it just be the best people? Or?
Yeah, it mirrors the Senate district, so that was chosen. I don't know the history on, now the man-woman thing, that is very interesting to me. Does anyone know the answer to that? I'm going to find out. So if you want to leave us your email, I'll give you a message back. Yes, other questions? Okay, I'll yield my time to the next speaker.
Excellent, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so next we have, so those are the candidates have